Hello everybody, Bill Harrison again with Hardened Power Systems, here to give you an introduction to the Pilot G2. This is a ruggedized DC power supply. It uses a very large 33 amp hour LiFePo4 battery bank. And that is extremely large. That rivals something you would see in like an upgraded juice box or something. The system only weighs a little under 10 pounds. Fits inside a 30 caliber can. And one of the distinguishing things about the Pilot in our product line is it recognizes the truth that an inverter, although sometimes important and sometimes critical, is oftentimes not needed. And when it's not needed, you remove a lot of cost, weight, complexity, and power draw from a portable power system. So that's what you'll notice isn't here. There is no inverter. It's strictly a really powerful 33 amp hour LiFePo4 bank with a BMS and a low voltage disconnect, built-in protection against over discharge and overcharging. You know, something to certainly to power ham radio setup or other portable gear, or to charge RC equipment. It's hard to beat something like this, especially if you take this and slide it into the ammo can. And of course now you've got something that when it's closed, it's waterproof, pretty much crush proof, very tough. And this is pretty typical of what we do. Now, one of the interesting things, I just mentioned that an inverter is sometimes unnecessary and it adds weight and complexity, and of course that's all true. But an interesting thing that we're working on is a really very simple, and we've been calling it an expansion kit. That might be what it winds up being called on the site, I'm not sure. But if you take a Pilot and slide it in here, a few things become possible that are interesting. This, for example, is a pretty common 60-watt solar panel, and we bought this off Amazon pretty reasonably. We do happen to like the Sun Kingdom, pretty good quality stuff, and we've had good luck with it. But this is a 60-watt panel, and look at this. Okay, so you could have your Pilot with an extremely powerful battery bank, 60 watts of solar, space for solar cables or other connectors, a cubby for cables or other connectors. Underneath the G2, there's actually about an inch or so of available space for the same thing, whatever you might store in there. So, you know, here you'd have a waterproof, durable DC system at 60 watts of solar with 33 amps of LiFePo4. That's a lot of energy that you can both create and then of course distribute. Another interesting thing is you can take an inverter, and we happen to really be fans of Thor manufacturing. They build nice stuff, and they build most of the inverters that they were built for us that we put into our gear. But no reason why you couldn't just put an inverter in here and connect through the rear, so you don't have wires that are exposed out here. And if you needed the inverter, use the inverter. And if you didn't, take it out. Now I'm sure some of our amateur radio customers are also immediately recognizing there's quite a bit of room here. You know, this is 11.5 inches by almost 3 by 8 inches deep. Now, if you want to think of that as a radio bay, kind of like our Scout, that's a lot of space to put a rig and maybe even a tuner or an amp or something else along with it. The Pilot G2 is available right now, and it replaces the Pilot G1. The expansion kit is not available yet, but soon will be. And probably if for some reason you were impatient and you called the office and talked to us, maybe we'll just, expedite one or whatever. We've only built a couple of prototypes of this framework, which is actually quite simple and it wouldn't be very expensive. One of the other neat things is this. Now this is electrically and from a feature standpoint it's the same machine. But I'll confess that around here we're also fans of woodworking, and this is solid red cherry. It's just, man, it's beautiful. We machine this on the CNC, and we obviously assemble it, and then the finish is a hand-rubbed Danish oil that really makes the grain just jump. And I'll confess to being a little biased. I love the look of a high quality wood, but that's certainly what this is very high quality wood. One of the neat things here, you see these rubber feet, and that's partially because we anticipate, of course, people not wanting to put this in an ammo can. They want this setting somewhere prominent, especially in a ham shack on a bench adjacent to some equipment. It's just beautiful. But if you did want to protect it in an ammo can or transport it or something, clearly these feet would interfere with that. So what we did, we make these small little rubber bumper with a rare earth magnet, and they simply pop off. And having done that, now the G2 will slide right into an ammo can. And then if you want to, of course we have embedded magnets here, so these just snap right back on. And this is not yet on the site, but it will be soon. And I don't think we're even going to sell this with an ammo can. Maybe we'll give the option or something, but this really does not want to be enclosed in olive drab metal. This really wants to be sitting somewhere where people can appreciate it. And again, it's functionally identical to the standard Pilot G2. So, in any event, thanks for the time and attention. This is the Pilot G2. You'll find it on our website, portableuniversalpower.com. This is Bill Harrison. We'll see you folks later. Thanks.